Around 1 year ago, a channel named Two Idiot Germans made a horror series based on Team Fortress 2, the horror series being called Server Blight. It instantly became a massive hit in the TF2 community and was considered to be one of the creepiest and most disturbing Team Fortress 2 horror series. And today I'm going to be covering every single episode that the series has dropped so far, every episode that is in the official Server Blight playlist. So let's start with the first video. The first video in the Server Blight series is called The Empty Server, which was released on October 31st of 2024. The video starts off with the player joining a match in TF2 in the Thunder Mountain map, selecting the Sniper class. Our protagonist joins in and his name is... his name is Dixalot, and I just gotta say, I love how this series perfectly portrayed how, edgy 14-year-olds used to be in Team Fortress 2 back in like 2013 to 2015. Because back in 2013 to 2015, you would see a lot of edgy teenagers type stuff like this in chat all the time. Anyways, Dixalot joins the game, and a player named Gilsuit tells him KYS, which I'm pretty sure you all know what that means. Dixalot just simply ignores it, saying that was rude to say, and moves on. He then sees that most of the map is empty for some reason, confused on where everybody is. However, he then spots a red spy running around and jumping off the cliff, dying instantly. Dixalot finds this funny and not suspicious at all, but it also says that the spy that jumped off the cliff got disconnected. Dixalot then spots a scout running around the map, where he tries to shoot. He takes aim but then sees something strange. The scout stares at him dead on, and not only that, we get a closer look at him. The scout is kind of nodding to get shot. The sniper shoots the scout, but we see something strange. Instead of the scout dying in a ragdoll effect that you would see in, TF2, Gmod, and other games from Valve, the scout dies in a kind of realistic animated way, not the way it's supposed to. Gilsuit types in again KYS. The sniper moves on and can't really find anybody, only the corpse of a heavy. Dixalot just assumes that this is an idle server and tries to leave the game. But he can't. He can't disconnect from the match at all. He looks back and the heavy corpse is now gone. Dixalot then just decides to move around and see what he can find, which where he eventually walks into a building and spots an engineer. The engineer speaks.
Kill yourself.
How are you doing that?
You have to kill yourself.
How are you moving like that?
Leave while you still can.
The engineer then looks behind Dixalot and gets startled, running away. It's clear that the engineer is not moving the way he's supposed to in-game. He is able to talk with his mouth properly while typing in chat, and not only that, moves in an animated way. Dixalot looks behind him and sees the heavy standing there. Dixalot then panics and runs away, where he then encounters the corpse of the engineer we saw before. The engineer most likely have killed himself, with then there being letters on the wall written in blood. Don't let it take you alive. It's clear that the engineer typing KYS in chat wasn't trying to be toxic. It was a warning this whole time. The sniper then runs away the moment it notices whatever's chasing him getting closer. We get some brief shots at what this creature looks like, looking like multiple classes of the TF2 characters combined together in a big, corrupted, glitchy mess. Dixalot keeps running away. His player model looks scared. Dixalot then jumps off a cliff, where we then get to see a bit more clearly what the creature chasing him was. Dixalot then gets disconnected, with the game crashing on him. So this is what I'm getting from the video so far. Obviously the creature that was chasing him at the end of the video was the Server Blight, and from what it seems, it's so dangerous that the players in the game think that death is a better option than being caught by it, meaning that it must do some pretty messed up stuff to the player if they are so terrified of it. From a spy jumping off a cliff, with a scout purposely wanting to get headshot by the sniper, and the engineer stealing Dixalot's knife only to go upstairs and end it. Not only that, it seems that whatever server the Server Blight is in can make the consciousness of the player connect with their character. Because when Dixalot was running away, the player model looked pretty terrified. It could also explain why the engineer had such realistic animated movement, or how the scout itself looked scared while staring at the sniper. And so far it seems the only way to get away from this creature is, well, by killing yourself in the game. The next video in the series is called The Empty Server Migration, and it takes place directly after the first video, where Dix-a-Lot disconnected from the server. We get a couple of shots where the server is completely empty, no one is around, until a new player joins the game, choosing the engineer class. This new player is called Johnny Danny 12. Gillsuit types in chat,
I'm having so much fun.
Good for you.
It's clear that this isn't Gillsuit, considering he died in the last video. Johnny moves around the map, putting down a sentry and doing, well, what most engineer players do, until Gillsuit types in chat again, I'm having so much fun. Over and over again. Johnny asks if there are any bad guys, but Gillsuit just keeps on saying the same thing over and over. Johnny runs around the map, telling Gillsuit to shut up, which Gillsuit doesn't really do, until Johnny encounters this. Johnny tries to run away, however the server blight catches him, which makes Johnny disconnect from the game. After catching Johnny, the server blight disappears and multiple players we haven't seen before disconnect. We then get a final shot of the empty server. Although this video doesn't seem like it gives us much info, it actually does. At the end of the video where the server blight disappears, we see a list of players get disconnected, along with Johnny. What if every player that the server blight catches makes it so that more players get combined together into one being, the server blight? It will certainly explain why the server blight takes the appearance of multiple of the classes in TF2 just combined and molded together in a freaky way, because the server blight catches multiple people and uses them to get bigger and stronger probably. The next video in the series is called Server Blight. Yep, just straight up Server Blight. This time we're in an actual TF2 match. Everything seems normal.
Tells me KYS? Pyromanes? Aaron? Go soldier. We're gonna carry this team to victory!
We get introduced to these two characters. One of them we have already seen. The medic is Hector, however that's just his username. His real name is Matt. And the sniper, well, I think you already guessed, is Dix-a-Lot from the first video, however we get his real name. Aaron. So I'm not going to be calling them by their usernames, instead their real names. Matt tells Aaron to switch to heavy so that they can completely destroy the other team, because for those who don't play TF2, medic and soldier or heavy are a pretty good combo, I ain't gonna lie. And then we get this cool montage of Aaron and Matt completely destroying the blue team and winning in the end. After they win, they go into another match, however their team is not that formed.
No one plays these community servers, man. Let's play casual.
With Matt saying this, we get information that, well, Aaron is making Matt play on community servers only, not public ones. Probably because of what happened last time. However, suddenly, a lot of people join the game and all go to the red team. One of them being Gillsuit, which from seeing the name alone makes Aaron's character completely terrified. Which means that Aaron, in real life playing the game, also is probably terrified, considering that for some reason the conscience of the player is also connected to their character. Aaron quickly tells Matt that they have to leave the game. However, Matt just assumes that Gillsuit is a hacker. Not only that, but the same scenario happens again.
Why can't I leave? I can't.
Both of them cannot leave the game. They even try killbind, but even that doesn't work.
Stop, dude. If this guy's cheating, who cares? We can just Alt F4 anyway. We just carried the whole game. Some script kiddie's got nothing on us.
Aaron agrees, and Matt says that they'll take down the hacker together.
Yo, Heavy, you with us? Idiot.
Matt and Aaron start doing their objective, moving the payload towards the red team. However, they quickly notice that no one is there. Matt looks to the left and sees a red scout running upstairs, which he goes to check out. Aaron follows along, trying to warn Matt. However, Matt has already killed the red scout.
You okay?
What? Yeah, that's...
they hear gunshots. They continue moving the payload until they hear the same gunshots again. Aaron tells Matt to check on it, until Aaron looks to the left. A scout running on all fours, which leaves Aaron's player model looking terrified and gripping his rocket launcher tightly. But then Matt comes back. They keep moving along until they spot their heavy teammate from before. However, it's clear something is wrong.
Yo, Heavy!
The Heavy does realistic movements and repeating the same thing he said before, "We go together." The server blind controlling the Heavy gives chase. We also see in the chat that the player that was controlling the Heavy is dead. Not in game, most likely in real life too. Until Aaron comes up with the quick thinking idea of kicking the Heavy out of the game, which surprisingly works. Both Aaron's and Matt's player models look terrified. Aaron tells Matt the only way to get out of the map is by, well, jumping off the cliff. Same thing that Aaron did in the first video. They completely abandon the payload behind with a new mission, to kill themselves in the game and disconnect from the servers. As they move along, they spot a demo man bashing its head against the wall, which Aaron quickly realizes it's one of the server blind's tricks again. As they keep moving, they spot a player that is lying down on the floor. The player model's legs stretched beyond belief. As we get a closer look at the player, we realize it's Johnny from the last video.
Is this heaven? Why is it so cold?
Until... both Aaron and Matt run away quickly, getting chased by multiple of the server blind's minions. Aaron manages to kill one of them, however the server blind quickly grabs the pieces back together, most likely to combine again. As Matt and Aaron finally reach a safe spot, they try to calm down.
It's learning.
What?
It pretends to be a player, repeats voice lines it heard. We have to leave the server.
What?
Matt repeats the same thing over and over, and it's clear that Matt isn't who he is. The server blind realizes that the jig is up and no longer pretends, showing its true self. Aaron is horrified at the sight, and the server blind gives chase, which is shown in a similar way of the first video. Aaron successfully manages to avoid all the server blinds and jumps into the cliff, killing himself in the game and disconnecting.
I'm sorry.
The server blind then retreats into Matt's body, and some new players join the lobby in the red team, which makes the server blind smile, and the video ends. Now with this we got some more info on the server blind. Not only is the server blind able to copy and paste things in chat that it saw before, but it can also copy the voices of the players in voice chat. It also seems that the server blind can get rid of pieces of itself to make minions, and is able to drag them back again to combine them with itself so it can get bigger again. And with what Matt said at the start of the second round, it seems that the server blind can also join community servers, not just public ones, meaning that it might have control over the entirety of the TF2 servers. It also seems that the server blind might be a bit intelligent, keeping Johnny alive for bait. As we see, Johnny isn't entirely corrupted and is still probably alive. Overall, this was an amazing video in the series, but remember, we got much more to go through. The fourth video of the series is called Puppet. Now here's the thing about this video. It's not like the other videos where it's 3D animation and we get to see the story. It's more like storytelling. You know those creepypasta stories people would read on YouTube with, you know, a creepy background in the video while they were talking? It's kind of like that. So to not bore you guys, I'm just gonna add clips from the previous videos while I talk about what this video basically talks about. The story tells of a person that woke up in a place unknown, where they felt a bit disoriented and numb, while also confused at the same time because just a moment ago they were at their house. However, now they're somewhere random, somewhere unfamiliar. Slowly, this person starts to get their senses back, and they feel multiple things around his body, something that can be described as soft, like body parts. Not only that, the person themselves feels a bit disoriented, saying that their legs feel very long, their shoulders are way too broad, like something is wrong with with their body. This person can obviously tell something is wrong and that they are surrounded by what they can only assume is corpses. However, they really aren't corpses, since he can hear multiple groans and grunts. This person finally gets to see a small peek at where he is through a small crevice of the multiple bodies. He sees the assets of Team Fortress 2, which makes him more confused. How did he get inside a game? This obviously means that this person got transported into Team Fortress 2 somehow and was molded into the server blight along with multiple other players. The server blight started moving around, and the person inside the server blight we're following can feel their body corrupting, their fingers becoming longer, their body parts twitching like crazy along with the many others, until the person inside the server blight manages to spot a spy player, the spy model looking terrified at the server blight, while the server blight is most likely gonna attack it and make it a part of him. The video ends with the player that we're following trying to resist the server blight, only for the server blight to get some sick sense of amusement from it, and punishes this person by what they describe a million burning pixels searing into their flesh. This story tells us a lot of things. Either a person themselves or the consciousness of a person gets transported into the game when the server blight manages to get them, and not only that, all the players that the server blight has managed to capture are all still alive and can feel the pain of their limbs becoming more stretchy, twitchy, and buggy, and how uncomfortable it is being around so many other people that are suffering the same fate as them. It also seems that the server blight also has some sadism to it, because at the end of the story, the person talking and narrating says that they could feel someone behind them smiling, and smiling even more while punishing this person. The next video of the series is called Server Blight Assimilation. And just know this video has a bunch of flashing lights, so do be warned. The video starts off with a normal TF2 match, and the person we're following is called Serenix. We also get to see a bit of real life footage here, and am I gonna be the one to say it? Is Serenix held captive in a basement playing this game? Like, look at this. Not judging people's setups, of course. As we can see, Serenix seems like your usual teenage boy trying to play a match of TF2. He gets on the game selecting the spy class and, you know, trying to play. But after a bit, somebody in the chat types in, "This is weird," and Serenix himself encounters something strange. The red team isn't acting like usual players. However, suddenly, a gurgling noise can be heard, and a sniper can be seen behind Serenix, staring at him dead on, which shouldn't be possible because he is invisible right now as spy. Nobody should be able to see him quite well. Serenix gets out of the way and the sniper moves forward. Not only that, throughout the video, Serenix looks behind him time and time again, as if he's sensing something. As Serenix plays a bit more, he looks down at his hands, only to see they have been replaced by Spy's hands. This confuses him, looking back down again, only to see that maybe it was just his mind playing tricks on him. However, of course this means that his consciousness is connecting with the spy in the game. Serenix feels a hand on his lap, and then sees a soldier looking at him only to run away. Serenix at this point is really creeped out. What is it with the server? He then moves back to the main area, only to see that every single player, both the blue team and red team, staring at him, even though he's invisible. Things get repeated in the chat over and over again, with a heavy appearing behind Serenix. The players give chase, with Serenix running away. As Serenix goes down into a tunnel, he tries to leave the game. However, it doesn't work at all. And before some of you smart guys go into the comments, no, Alt F4 doesn't work either. Serenix looks behind him and sees that somehow he has been transported to the TF2 map. This leaves him more confused and terrified. He keeps on moving in the game, where he then reaches a capture point. As he steps onto the capture point, there is a message: "Capture blocked by enemy." But as he looks around, there isn't anybody with him, until he sees this. The server blight forms, and the other corrupted players that the server blight sent all surround Serenix. Serenix is dead? This adds a bit more info to the lore. You see, in the puppet video, the story we heard suggests that the players are still alive. Kind of, but also no, I think. Maybe the player dies in real life, however their consciousness gets transported into the game, which is the only thing I can think of which makes sense. Plus, it seems the server blight is also good at detecting where people are, adding more to its intelligence, considering that Serenix was able to be seen and chased by the server blight while being invisible. Also, I could be wrong on this, but I think Serenix is the spy that the puppet video was talking about, where the player trapped inside the server blight said they were approaching a tunnel and they were chasing a spy player. The next video on the series is called Server Blight Offline, and this one is perhaps the simplest one by far. A Demoman player named Classic joins the game, and if I'm being honest, he seems like a chill guy and gets along with everyone in the server.
Hey guys, I'm back. How's it going? Hi Bison Man. Hi Spooks.
Man, Classic seems like a nice guy. Let's hope nothing bad happens to him. He plays the game until he sees a blue pyro, which is Spooks he mentioned before, one of his friends probably, is just staring at him strangely, not even writing anything in chat. However, Classic just simply ignores it. While talking with one of his friends, MillianD007, he spots Spooks again, staring at him and running away.
Man, what's Spooks doing? He's just staring at me.
But then he realizes something disturbing.
Spooks? Spooks isn't on. Hasn't been on since yesterday.
This makes Classic a bit weirded out and goes to investigate. However, once he reaches a rooftop, he looks forward, most likely seeing something disturbing, before the video ends. Again, probably the most simplest video in the series, but still effective to the story. The next video is called Server Blight Reflection, and it's the longest video in the series, but also the most interesting one. It shows a player called Bread Dolphin joining a match of TF2, selecting the Spy class. And not only that, it seems like this is a continuation of the last video, because the Spy is in the server where Classic was in the last video, considering somebody in chat types in "Where's Spooks?"
Nice trick stab.
Spy encounters Classic, who compliments him on his trick stab. Both of them start talking, Bread Dolphin saying that somebody keeps on messaging him, which Classic tells him to block. Classic says that he has to log off the game, which Bread Dolphin understands and gives him a thumbs up. But then the inevitable happens.
The hell? Why can't I disconnect?
RIP Classic, you will be missed. For once we get to see the entire server get attacked by the server blight, the players desperately trying to fight it off, and multiple server blights join the game. Server blights that we are familiar with. Gillsuit, Serenix. Bread Dolphin tries to escape, only to look back and see a scout server blight charging straight for him, until Dixalot joins the game. Aaron, which successfully saves the day. We also see that Aaron is the one that was messaging Bread Dolphin.
Remember Thunder Mountain?
And this is where things start to make sense. This spy, Bread Dolphin, was the same spy that jumped off the cliff in the first video, the empty server.
Oh god. Listen, don't trust anyone, don't touch anyone, and don't stop running. We can make it out.
Okay. Aaron and Bread Dolphin start moving, where at a certain point Bread Dolphin realizes how strange his movements are. How can we move like this?
It pulls you in. Somehow. Best not to think about it.
Then Bread Dolphin starts running away from a server blight, which Aaron quickly shoots down. Bread Dolphin apologizes for running away. I can't look away from my screen.
I know.
Aaron then devises a plan, telling Bread Dolphin he needs to get back to spawn. The two of them move along, and they encounter the server blight, with Classic being captured by it. The server blight goes near a saw. This makes it more apparent that the server blight is some sort of sadistic creature, not only capturing players and killing them in real life, transporting their consciousness into the game, but also loving to torture them. The two of them successfully manage to escape, however, and keep on moving.
I told you, can't trust. I saw it get people.
Who?
A friend.
My best friend was on Thunder Mountain.
I'm sorry.
Haven't heard from him. Have you seen him?
His name?
Directions.
No.
For those who don't know, Directions is the scout that Aaron shot in the first video, which I'll get back to at the end of this video and talk about, because there's something that doesn't sit right with me. And also the fact that Aaron lied to Bread Dolphin about not seeing him. Bread Dolphin tells Aaron to shoot him so he'll respawn back in the base easily, which Aaron agrees to. However, Aaron is getting attacked by one of the Server Blight's minions. However, Bread Dolphin comes in clutch. Aaron tells Bread Dolphin a way to make it out. He tells him to go the soldier class, gets a 40 health, and then jump the fence, which should make his ragdoll make it out and disconnect from the game. Bread Dolphin hears Classic's voice. However, Aaron tells him quickly to move, which Bread Dolphin does. Bread Dolphin goes back to base and switches to the soldier class. How much HP?
40. Then jump. Don't gib yourself.
For those who don't know, gib is basically when a character explodes in many little pieces in TF2. So basically if Bread Dolphin gibs himself, there won't be a ragdoll to make it to the other side so he can disconnect. However, of course the worst happens. Bread Dolphin gibs himself. I'm respawning. Now move. Bread Dolphin spawns back again and quickly rushes over, ready to try again. A tall sniper Server Blight minion appears, charging straight for Aaron. However, Aaron successfully manages to defeat it. Bread Dolphin manages to make it to the other side, and gets disconnected from the game. Aaron then looks forward, and sees perhaps the base for the Server Blight. Aaron just simply stares at it, and does the same thing as Bread Dolphin, jumping over the fence to disconnect. We then cut to a Steam chat.
Feel alright?
I guess, I could feel it pulling on me when I disconnected.
We're out now. You showed me how to leave on Thunder Mountain. We're even.
Thank you.
I need to know. Will you help me? I don't know what's happening, but more people might get hurt. Maybe we can warn them, get the server shut down, anything. Maybe I could see Matt again. We could find your friend.
I really miss him, but I can't. That thing found me twice. I can't go back. Please. Don't message me again. We then cut to Aaron, the real life Aaron, looking at the messages. He looks frustrated and sad. He then looks to his phone where he tried to text Matt. Clearly after the events of the third video. The video ends with Aaron breaking down. Editing PK here. While I'm editing, I noticed that in this video, if you look to the left of Aaron, you can see a long shadow, most likely the arm of the Server Blight. So yeah, this video, a lot of things happened. We got to see in real time the Server Blight attacking an entire server. And not only that, the protagonist of the video, Bread Dolphin, was an unexpected surprise from the first video. However, one thing doesn't sit right with me. Bread Dolphin says that Directions, his friend, hasn't been responding to his messages. However, in the first video, he died as well, right? Technically, he killed himself by letting Aaron shoot him. However, looking back at the first video, I realized something. When Aaron killed Directions in the game, it didn't say Directions disconnected, which means that the Server Blight could have dragged in his player model. So perhaps the only way to truly avoid the Server Blight is by jumping off the map's cliff or getting out of bounds, which I don't know why, if I'm being honest. We also get to see more of the Server Blight's sadistic tendencies, considering at how he was torturing Classic with one of the saws of the map. We got 3 more videos left, so let's do this. The next video is called Server Blight Awareness. The video starts off in a normal TF2 match, 3 friends playing together, Grey Matter, Nexos, and Gods.
That's like default for voice chats.
I only play like Minecraft. Guys, watch out! They have a really good sniper.
The game goes on as normal, the 3 friends working together to take down the blue team and capture the intelligence, with Nixos getting the hang of the game pretty quickly. As they keep moving, Nixos picks up a medkit to heal some health he took from fall damage, but then he encounters a strange player.
Sorry bucko, better luck next time.
Who wants some of this? Bonk!
But hey, this could be normal, hopefully. Gods and Nixos keeps moving under the blue base, where the three friends start discussing a plan on how to get the intel. They go up thinking they're about to be swarmed. However, to their surprise, the blue team is empty. But then they see a terrified soldier player running away from something. The soldier instantly attacks the three, managing to kill Grey Matter. However, Nixos and Gods manage to take him out.
And, then there were two, I guess.
Grey Matter is back at spawn, and Gods and Nixos are left to capture the intelligence. As they keep on moving, they see a strange spy. The two of them think that the spy is friendly, however, it's obvious he looks weird. Nixos goes and grabs the intelligence, but then spots something strange in the corner of the room.
Dude, we should go back. Huh?
The two friends run away, and God successfully manages to take out one of the server blights. Both of them are incredibly confused, until...
I've seen this before. What?
I just wanted you guys to be friends.
Nixos heads back to his base on his own, where he then hears Grey Matter. Okay, yeah, come on, let's be honest, that's not Grey Matter. Grey Matter starts doing strange movements in-game, which causes Nixos to run away, being chased by the server blight. Nixos manages to jump in back at his base and capture the intelligence, which makes him win the round and disconnect from the game. The server blight retreats, and the server is back to being empty, with new players joining in. So this video really didn't give us any new info on the server blight, just more victims of it. However, I will say the strange part about this video is that Nixos said that he has seen this before. Now, what does he mean by this? From the start of the video, we see that he's a new player. He shouldn't know anything about TF2. This leads me to two conclusions. One, Nixos has seen clips of the server blight. Considering of how many servers the server blight has attacked, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody managed to get a recording of it and uploaded it on social media. Nixos could have discovered one of these videos but just assumed it was fake. Two, the server blight can attack multiple games, not just TF2. However, this is a bit unlikely in my opinion, but it's still an interesting theory. Nixos could have seen the server blight in a different game, maybe Minecraft, considering Nixos has only played Minecraft before. And Minecraft also has servers in it, which the server blight could use to get in and attack multiple players. Still, it is quite interesting to think about. The next video in the series is called Proxy, and it's similar to the fourth video of the series, where you don't see anything play out, you just hear the story. So I'm gonna try to summarize the story of this video as fast as possible. Basically, we have two friends, the person telling the story and Mark. Both of them have met online and have been friends for quite a while, and eventually when they started going to college, they both started living together. One day, Mark was playing Team Fortress 2 and was asking the person we're following to join, even though he didn't want to. Mark just ignored this and both of them started chatting through the Steam messages. The person who was telling the story was ignoring the messages because he was focusing on homework. However, Mark was typing in strange things that are incredibly familiar to us. The red team acting strange, multiple players being AFK, the server getting empty with no one around, and of course, Mark gets attacked by the server blight. This is all things we have seen before. However, here is the interesting part. The person telling the story went into Mark's room only to see them having a seizure, in the same blooded up way we have seen previous victims be. They instantly dialed 911 and Mark was sent to a hospital. But this is the interesting thing. Mark wasn't dead, he was in a coma, so that erases the previous possibility. The players in the servers that are captured by the server blight aren't dead. They are just in a coma, which means that there is still a possibility for them to get saved. Sure, their consciousness is in the game, but their body is still alive, just in a coma. Meaning that if there is a way to set free the players, they could probably return to their bodies and be alive again. Well, they were already alive, but you get what I'm saying. Another interesting part of this story is that while the person telling us the story went into Mark's room, he saw in the screen that a pair of massive eyeballs were staring at him. And we get an image of this in the storytelling video. What if these two pairs of wide, manic eyeballs are a glimpse of what the server blight truly looks like? Anyways, although this video gave us only one bit of info, it's still incredibly useful. The fact that some of these innocent players, like for example Classic or Johnny, aren't dead and are just in a coma gives us hope that they could be brought back from the game. The final video and the most recent one in the playlist is called Server Blight, Meet the Demo Man But I Voiced Everything. And well, it's not even by the Two Idiot Germans channel, it's by a channel named Derek Key.
Ching, cling, cling.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the story and was added here as, you know, a joke, so we're just gonna skip it. And those were all the official videos in the Server Blight playlist so far. It is highly possible more episodes will come out, and if more come out, I might talk about them in the future. Now, I don't really have any good theories about this. Most info we got on the Server Blight was revealed in the videos. The only mystery there is what type of creature is the Server Blight and where did it come from? It's definitely not some sort of virus or hacker or any of that digital stuff, because it can actually cause problems to the player in real life and steal their consciousness into the game. So I don't know what type of being that makes it, if I'm being honest. Digital entity, god, whatever, I don't know what to classify it. And we really have no idea where it came from. Like throughout the videos there is no hint at where this thing came from. Not even when it first started appearing. For now we just have to be patient and wait for more videos to come out to hopefully get some answers to these questions. But if you guys got any theories, please type them down below in the comments. Anyways, I guess that's it everybody. See ya.